Look at those muscles. She looks so strange. What a freak. Keep walking, weirdo.
Kachi had been lifting weights since she was 13. At first, it was not a choice. Her father signed her up for a local sports program after doctors told him his daughter had a rare condition that made her grow unusually tall and muscular. They said sports would help her body stay balanced and healthy. What they did not say was how lonely it would make her. By 16, Kachi was stronger than most grown men in her city. Her arms were thick and hard, her shoulders were broad, her legs were heavy with muscle. When she walked into a room, people stared before they spoke. Some stared with surprise, some stared with fear, some stared with mockery. Kachi learned early not to ask why. She lived in a big house in a good part of the city. Her family name carried respect. Her father was well-known and highly connected. People greeted him with smiles and bowed heads. But respect never protected Kachi from whispers. She looks like a man. Who will marry her? She is too much. She heard these words at family events, at school, even at church. Sometimes people did not lower their voices. Sometimes they laughed. Kachi pretended not to care. She focused on training. By 22, she was a national weightlifting champion. Her name was known across the country. Her face appeared on sports news. Her medals filled a glass case in the living room. People praised her strength. They just didn't praise her. Online comments followed her everywhere. Strong but ugly. She should stop pretending she's a woman. I respect her, but I wouldn't date her. Kachi read them at night, alone in her room. She told herself they didn't matter, but each word settled quietly inside her chest, heavy and cold. Her younger sister, Taye, never missed a chance to remind her. Taye was everything Kachi was not. She was soft where Kachi was hard, slim where Kachi was thick. She had smooth skin, a sweet voice, and a smile that came easily. Brands loved her. Cameras loved her. Taye posted pictures daily. Makeup deals, hair ads, skincare promotions. Her followers adored her. At home, she acted kind in front of guests, but when they were alone, her words changed. "People clap for you because you lift iron," Taye said one evening, scrolling through her phone, "but nobody looks at you and feels love." Kachi said nothing. She kept tying her shoelaces. Taye smiled. "I'm just being honest. You're strong, yes, but men want softness. You don't have that." Kachi stood up and walked out of the room. This was normal. Taye had been like this for years. When Kachi won her first national medal, Taye congratulated her in public. That night, she said, "At least medals don't need romance." When Kachi appeared on television, Taye said, "Fame won't make you beautiful." Kachi never fought back. She believed deep down that maybe Taye was right. Training was the only place Kachi felt free. The gym smelled of iron and sweat. The weights didn't judge her body. They responded to it. When she lifted, the noise in her head went quiet. That morning, the gym was busy. Cameras were set up. Reporters stood near the entrance. Kachi was preparing for an international competition, and the media wanted content. Her coach clapped his hands. "Focus, Kachi, ignore them." Kachi nodded. She wrapped her hands and stepped onto the platform. She lifted. The weight rose clean and strong. Applause filled the room. She lowered it gently, breathing hard. That was when she heard a loud crack. A metal stand near the lighting area collapsed. One of the lights swung wildly. People shouted. Someone screamed. A man fell. A heavy camera rig dropped with him, trapping his leg under it. Before anyone could move, Kachi ran. She grabbed the rig with both hands and lifted it off the man as if it weighed nothing. The room went silent. The man looked up at her, shocked. "Are you okay?" Kachi asked. He nodded, still staring. I think so." She helped him sit up. Blood stained his trousers, but he was conscious. "Thank you," he said, breathless. "You saved me." Kachi froze. No one had ever said those words to her like that. Not impressed, not joking, not afraid, just grateful. Paramedics rushed in. The man was taken away. The chaos slowly settled. Kachi returned to the platform, but her hands were shaking now. From across the room, Taye watched everything. She had come to film content for her page. She saw the cameras turn to Kachi. She saw the way people whispered, not in mockery this time, but in awe. She felt something twist inside her chest. That night, Kachi sat alone on her bed, replaying the moment in her head. The man's voice, the way he looked at her, like she was normal, like she was enough. Downstairs, Taye scrolled through her phone, watching clips of the incident go viral. "Strong queen," one caption read. "She's amazing," another said. Taye's smile faded. For the first time in her life, Kachi was being seen differently, and Taye did not like it at all. The next morning, Kachi woke up before her alarm. She lay on her back, staring at the ceiling, her mind already awake. The events of the previous day played again and again in her head. The crash, the shouting, the weight in her hands, the man's eyes when he looked at her. "You saved me." The words stayed with her. Kachi sat up and rubbed her face. She told herself to calm down. It was nothing. She had helped someone. That was all. Still, her chest felt different, lighter, warmer. She dressed for training and went downstairs. Her father was already at the table, reading the news on his tablet. He looked up and smiled. "You were everywhere yesterday." Kachi shrugged. "It wasn't planned." He nodded. "Still, you handled it well. I'm proud of you." Kachi paused. Her father was not a man of many words. Praise from him was rare. "Thank you," she said quietly. Taye entered the room a moment later, phone in hand. She did not look at Kachi. Her face was calm, but her fingers moved fast on the screen. "You're trending," Taye said without looking up. "Everyone loves a hero." Kachi said nothing and picked up her water bottle. At the gym, things felt different. People smiled at her more. Some nodded with respect. A few even clapped when she walked past. Cameras followed her movements. Reporters whispered her name. She tried to focus on her training, but her coach noticed her distraction. "You're not here today," he said. "I am," Kachi replied. He shook his head. "Your body is here, your mind is somewhere else." She took a deep breath and lifted again. This time, the weight moved smoothly. The noise in her head softened. After training, as she wiped sweat from her face, someone called her name. "Kachi?" She turned. It was him. The man from yesterday stood near the entrance. He leaned slightly on one leg. His face was pale, but his eyes were bright. A small camera bag hung from his shoulder. "I wasn't sure you'd remember me," he said. Kachi froze for half a second. Then she nodded. "I remember." He smiled. It was an easy smile, not forced, not nervous. "I'm Umar. I'm a photojournalist. I was filming the training session when everything went wrong." "How's your leg?" Kachi asked. "Still hurts," he said honestly. "But the doctor said I'll be fine. If you hadn't been there, it could have been much worse." They stood in silence for a moment. "I wanted to thank you properly. Yesterday was too chaotic." "You already thanked me," Kachi said. "I know, but still." He shifted his weight. "Can I buy you a drink? Just water or juice, whatever you want." Kachi hesitated. People were watching. Cameras were nearby. She was used to being alone after training, used to leaving quietly. But something about Umar felt safe. "Okay," Kachi said. They walked to a small juice bar across the street. It was quiet, almost empty. They sat by the window. Umar watched her for a moment, then laughed softly. "You look uncomfortable." "I'm not used to this," Kachi admitted. "To what?" "To people wanting to talk to me like this." He nodded slowly. "You do?" "He does. I'm usually behind the camera. People don't notice me unless something goes wrong." Kachi smiled before she could stop herself. They talked. Not about the incident, not about the gym, just simple things. Where he grew up, why he chose photography, how he liked telling stories with pictures. He asked her about weightlifting, but not in the usual way. He did not ask how much she could lift. He asked how it made her feel. "Free," Kachi said, after thinking for a moment. "Strong, quiet inside." He nodded like he understood. When they stood to leave, Umar hesitated. "Can I see you again?" Kachi's heart skipped. "Why?" she asked before she could stop herself. He looked at her, surprised, then serious. "Because I like how you talk. I like how you listen. And because when you lifted that rig yesterday, you didn't look powerful, you looked kind."
No one had ever described her like that. "I'd like that," she said softly. They exchanged numbers. As Kachi walked back into the gym, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Umar, thank you again, Kachi. I meant what I said." She stared at the screen for a long time. At home that evening, Kachi cooked dinner with a small smile on her face. She did not notice Taye watching her from the doorway. "You're happy," Taye said. Kachi looked up. "I guess so." Taye stepped closer. "Why?" Kachi hesitated. Then she decided to tell the truth. "I met someone," Kachi said. "The man from the gym." Taye laughed. "The one you lifted yesterday?" "Yes." "And?" asked Taye, her tone light. "And he's kind. He sees me." Taye's smile froze for just a second, then it returned, wider. "That's nice," she said. "Just be careful." "Be careful of what?" Kachi asked. Taye shrugged. "Men like stories. You're trending now. Don't confuse attention with love." The words landed sharply. Later that night, Taye lay in bed scrolling through posts about Kachi. Hero, queen, powerful. Her phone buzzed with messages from brands asking why she hadn't posted all day. For the first time, they were asking about her sister, too. Taye clenched her jaw. "This won't last," she whispered to herself. Down the hall, Kachi sat on her bed texting Umar. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel invisible. And for the first time, Taye felt afraid of losing the spotlight.
The days that followed were the happiest Kachi had known in a long time. She trained hard, but she also laughed more. She slept better. She walked with her head higher. When her phone buzzed, her heart no longer sank. Most of the messages were from Umar. They did not talk about big things at first. They talked about food, music, bad movies, long days, short nights. He never rushed her. He never made jokes about her body. He never acted impressed by her strength. He treated it like it was normal. That alone felt strange. They met again, this time at a quiet park in the evening. Umar still walked with a slight limp, but he waved off her concern. "If I let you carry me, people will talk," he joked. Kachi smiled. "They already do." They sat on a bench and watched children play football nearby. "I took some photos today," Umar said. "Not of sports, of people, ordinary people." "Why?" Kachi asked. "Because everyone thinks stories belong to special people," he said. "But they don't. Everyone has one." He turned to her. "You especially." Kachi looked away. "People already think they know my story." "Do they?" he asked gently. She did not answer. Over time, she told him things she had never said out loud, about the comments, the whispers, the way people stared, about feeling strong on the outside but small on the inside. Umar listened. He never interrupted. "You know," he said one evening, "people fear what they don't understand. That doesn't make you wrong. It makes them limited." No one had ever defended her like that. At home, the change in Kachi was impossible to ignore. Her father noticed first. "You seem lighter," he said one night over dinner. "I feel lighter," Kachi replied. Taye noticed too. Kachi no longer stayed quiet when Taye made jokes. She no longer looked down. She no longer flinched. That scared Taye. Her phone was still full of followers, but something had shifted. Brands now mentioned Kachi in interviews. Journalists asked about her sister. Fans commented under Taye's posts. "Your sister is amazing. You must be proud of her. Strength is beautiful." Taye smiled in public. She liked the comments. She reposted some of them. But inside, she burned. She began watching Kachi closely, watching her leave the house, watching her smile at her phone, watching the way she hummed while cooking. One evening, Taye followed her. She kept her distance as Kachi walked into a cafe near the city center. Through the glass, she saw Umar stand up and hug her. Not a long hug, not dramatic, just warm. Taye's chest tightened. So this was him. Later that night, Taye searched his name. Umar Bello, photojournalist, freelance, known for human stories. No scandals, no drama. Too clean. Taye leaned back on her bed, thinking, if she could not outshine Kachi, she would stain her. The opportunity came faster than she expected. A major international competition was announced. Kachi was selected to represent the country. The media went wild.
Interviews, headlines, features. Umar was assigned to cover the event. He hesitated before telling Kachi, "I don't want this to be strange. If you'd rather I step back, I will." Kachi shook her head. "No, you're doing your job." Their trust was quiet and real. That was when Taye moved. She reached out to a gossip blogger she knew well, someone who owed her favors. "I have a story," Taye said sweetly, "but I want it handled carefully." The article came out 2 days later. National athlete in secret romance with media man. The headline was bold. The tone was sharp. It questioned Kachi's focus. It suggested favoritism. It hinted that Umar was using her fame to boost his career. The comments were cruel. "She can't win on beauty, so she's using power. Is he really with her, or is it publicity?" Disgusting. Kachi saw the article while stretching at the gym. Her hands shook. She read it again and again. The old feelings returned. Heavy, cold, familiar. Her coach noticed. "Ignore it," he said. "They always look for dirt." But it hurt. That evening, she did not reply Umar's messages. At home, Taye watched Kachi closely. "You okay?" Taye asked, pretending concern. Kachi nodded. "I'm tired." Later, alone in her room, Kachi finally called Umar. "I'm sorry," she said before he could speak. "I should have told you how scared I am of this world." Umar was quiet for a moment. "Are you pushing me away?" "I don't know," Kachi whispered. "I don't want to ruin your life." He sighed softly. "Kachi," he said, "I chose to see you, not the headlines." Tears filled her eyes. Downstairs, Taye listened from the shadows, her face hard. This still wasn't enough. If Kachi was going to shine, Taye would make sure the light burned.
The morning after the call, Kachi woke up with a heavy chest. Her phone lay beside her. No new messages. She had expected one from Umar, but there was nothing. She told herself it was fine. He had said what he needed to say. He had chosen her. Still, fear sat quietly inside her. At training, her body felt strong, but her mind drifted. Each lift reminded her of the comments. Each pause brought back the headline. Her coach pulled her aside. "This competition matters," he said, "but you matter more. Decide who you are lifting for." Kachi nodded. She knew the answer. She had always lifted to survive. Now she needed to lift to live. That afternoon, the team gathered for a press briefing before traveling. Cameras flashed. Reporters asked questions. Most were about performance. Then one voice cut through the room. "Can you address the rumors about your relationship with a journalist covering this event?" The room went quiet. Kachi felt her heart pound. For a second, she wanted to run, to hide, to let someone else speak. Then she remembered the park, the bench, the way Umar listened. She stepped closer to the microphone. "I am an athlete," she said. Her voice was calm. "I train hard. I follow the rules. I have earned my place here." The reporter waited. "And yes," Kachi continued, "I am also a human being. I am allowed to care about someone. That does not make me weak. It does not make me dishonest." Cameras clicked faster. "I will compete," she finished, "and I will compete clean." The press moved on. From the back of the room, Taye watched frozen. This was not how it was supposed to go. That night, Taye confronted her. "You embarrassed yourself," Taye snapped. "You didn't have to say anything." Kachi looked at her sister for a long moment. "I was silent for years. It never helped me." Taye scoffed. "You think people respect you now?" "I think I respect myself," Kachi replied. The words landed hard. Taye laughed, sharp and bitter. "Enjoy it while it lasts." The competition day arrived. The stadium was full. Flags waved, music played. Kachi stepped onto the platform with chalked hands and a steady breath. In the crowd, she spotted her father. His eyes were fixed on her, proud, unafraid. Then she saw Umar. He stood at the edge, camera in hand. When their eyes met, he lowered the camera and nodded once. That was enough. Kachi lifted. The weight rose slowly, then strong, then clean. The crowd held its breath. She locked it overhead. The referee signaled success. Cheers exploded. Tears burned her eyes, but she did not drop the weight. She held it high. For herself, for every time she was told she was too much. She won gold. Backstage, reporters crowded her. Questions flew. How does it feel? What does this mean to you? What do you say to your critics? Kachi smiled. I say thank you, she said. They taught me how strong I needed to be. Later, alone in a quiet hallway, Umar found her. You were incredible, he said. So were you, Kachi replied. He frowned. I just took photos. No, she said gently. You saw me. They stood there, simple and real. The story that followed was not the one Taye had planned. Articles praised Kachi's strength and honesty. Interviews focused on her journey, not her body. Umar published a photo series, not of Kachi lifting, but of her resting, laughing, being human. It went viral. Taye tried to keep smiling online, but brands began to pull away. The comments changed. Why are you so mean to your sister? She's stronger inside and out. Beauty isn't kindness. One night, Taye sat alone in her room, staring at her screen. For the first time, the spotlight felt cold. Down the hall, Kachi packed her bags for the next season. She paused at her mirror. She looked the same, tall, muscular, solid, but she felt different. She smiled. For once, she did not feel like shrinking. She felt like standing tall.